I have done a bit of making for my Me Made wardrobe this month, but it was slightly stymied by the fact that my sewing machine went kaputs on me. I had an old, at least third hand, computerized Janome from 1981, apparently. My dad did some research, and it died a very sad death on me. So I ended up being without a machine to do anything with, which kind of put some of my plans off to the side. And what I ended up doing instead was actually quite a bit of dyeing this month. And I also got to my needles a fair amount, which was nice as well. So, kind of my main thing for my Me Made wardrobe this month was I was helping out at the Pembina Fiber Shed info booth at the St. Norbert's Farmers Market earlier in the month. And so I took this dress that I have that I had bought from Mawa, and it's part of their Journey Woman Dyeable collection. And it's a really fabulous dress that's really simple. I love to have it belted, and it's got good pockets. And I had dyed it. You've seen it before in its pink iteration. It had gone into a Brazil wood pot, and I wear it at least once a week. And so, with the wearing and the washing, of course, the color eventually faded to a not. It was like, I don't know, it was still okay, just like not the most pretty on my skin. I think it became a little bit too close in tone to my skin. So I brought it with me to the Fiber Shed demo and popped it into the Tango Cosmos vat or pot that we had on the go. And so they were grown at Anna's farm at Longway Homestead. And so I popped it in. Anna had taken out a really lovely, super bright orange skein of wool. And then I just tossed in a bunch of scraps of things and small linens, and then also this dress. And they ended up coming out different shades of gold, which was really interesting just as like kind of a nerdy dyeing thing. And so when I pulled it out, then I was heading from there back to my parents' place to pick up Willow, where I have a number of dye beds that I'm growing at my parents' place. And so my Tango Cosmos are growing there. And so when I got to their place, I picked some fresh blooms right before we then headed back home. And I did some flower pounding by sandwiching the blooms between the front and back of the dress. I turned it inside out and sandwiched them in between the two layers, and then flower pounded these fresh blooms between the two layers so that, as you can see, they go around the neckline of the dress. And then on the back there is also the same patterning of the blooms because yeah, they were sandwiched, so you got like a nice mirroring effect on front and back. So that was kind of the main thing that I ended up doing besides knitting stuff for my wardrobe. I also got this really fabulous hat from Ten Tree. It's made of recycled wool, and I have been coveting it after seeing it on a friend and trying it on several years ago. And so I finally bought myself one, and I may or may not end up doing some embroidery on it. I know some incredible beaders who have done really incredible beaded brims, so I probably won't do that, but I might do some stitching. We shall see. On my needles this month, I've actually been getting a lot done. So the sweater that you see me wearing here as I am checking woad seeds to harvest, they have been in pretty crazy harvest mode of the seeds, and there's a bajillion of them. But this is called Wolf's Teeth, and it's a collaboration with Hinterland Yarns, and it still needs to be steeked. So I'm wearing it in its pullover version here, but it is going to be a steeked cardigan, and it is color work with my Taproots yarn, and I really, really love it. It's super cozy. And it'll be available in September. You'll be able to find us at Knit City sharing a booth. So we'll have some kind of kits situations prepared there. But yeah, so I wore that. And then I also made myself a nurture bralette, which I will show you next month. So most of my time, honestly, this month has just been spent with all of my dye plants. Like I said, I've been growing a lot at my parents', so this is there at their place. And at the back of their property for my birthday, my dad had bought me these veggie pods, which are fantastic. He's got smaller ones up closer to the house, and normally they're on stands, which is why they're fantastic. He's in a wheelchair, and so it allows for really easy gardening, but these are ginormous, and we just put them right on the ground. And so, as you can see, they are blooming really, 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 really well. So I was able to harvest indigo at a much earlier stage than if I was growing it at home. And so here I am doing my very first aqueous extraction. And again, Anna from Long Way Homestead was incredibly helpful. And so she walked me through the process. And this was the smell of overly fermented indigo leaves is something that I don't ever want anybody else to have to experience. Obviously, you will if you work with it. But it is the worst smell I have ever smelled in my life. So color is incredible. Really glad I did it, but oh my God. It's neat to see when it's aerating though. The color of the bubbles is important. The smell is important. It's a really intuitive process. And I ended up with very little from my first extraction because I didn't let them ferment enough the first time. But as you can see here, I did get enough to make some paint directly from the sludge. And I didn't do a great job of filming this section, apologies, but I am making these extremely fun masks. And so this is the indigo that I grew turned into paint. And this is the like remnants of that with some fun little Perscaria tinctoria flower eyebrows. So these are going to be part of the installation that I'm working on. Boss Witch life, it looks really nice and peaceful here. Reality is that there's a lot happening behind the scenes that I don't necessarily have much to show you at this point. I've started working on the overhaul of the website. I am going to be kind of adjusting some of my focuses, but also we're coming up into market season. So I'm about to head into Riding Mountain National Park for a 2-week artist residency, and hopefully it will be just as peaceful as this here. But I went to Fort White, had a really great meeting with the folks at the farm there. Also met with some other folks over the last month, and so I've been having really, really great conversations, and am looking at collaborating with different organizations and groups around the city, and be looking at teaching more in the upcoming year. So that'll be really great. Sanctuary got off to print, which is so exciting. So I'll have that to show you when I get back by the time that we have our New Moon Love Note. Next time, the book will officially be back from the printers, which is so exciting. So next month I'll have more to show you. I don't know that I'll have much as far as the overhaul goes, but I am planning on doing a bit of a brand photo shoot while I am up in the woods for my residency, and I'll be working on some stuff for my installation. So yeah, it'll be fun, but this season has been a lot of garden work and a lot of kind of inner work. And so here's a nice view. On the fun, nerdy side of things, though, I have been playing with pigments. And so this is weld paint, or weld being laked. So I will hopefully have more to show you in that regard moving forward. But Willow just wants to remind you to, have a good summer. It's a shorter video this month, but it is a busy time of year, and as a creature driven by the seasons, this is the time for harvest and creation. And so I hope that even though it's been a short video, that you have been inspired by all of my weird, fun little adventures, and check the notes for links for things for you to make your own stuff. So have fun.